My name is Erin, and I own Eat Yoga, Inc., teaching yoga in non-traditional spaces. Let me turn off this dehumidifier a second. Hang on. There we go. So we don't have any fan background noise. Today I am leading Balance Flow, and I want to thank the Energy Club for sponsoring today's class and for offering a nice balance of classes virtually. I know they're gearing up to offer some live classes outdoors, so stay tuned for all of those exciting announcements. In the meantime, for today, or for this whole week, we're focusing on a different theme each week. Today we're doing balance, and we're going to start standing. So come onto your mat, standing. And I want you to think about balance in sort of the sphere of integrative, and how balance isn't just not tipping over and feeling stable, but balance is also just finding a nice equilibrium between what we welcome in and what we put out, right? And that could be like what we ingest, that could be what we consume through our social media diet, that could be the deeds that are given to us and that we turn around and offer to others. You can think of it in the most holistic way that fits your life. We're also going to talk a little bit today about the 4 essential elements of the universe that are present within our own bodies, and how when we tune into our physical and mental and emotional beings, we can decide whether there's a nice harmonious balance among them or whether something is feeling a little bit overpowering. And when you notice this shift and this imbalance, what can you do to help bring that equilibrium back? Okay, because you have the power to do that. So come to stand, and maybe just take a few moments to shift away from side to side, into one foot and the other, and start to invite into your awareness the embodiment of Earth. When we did our chakral journey, our chakra exploration, you know that Earth is the root chakra. And Earth is our physical body. It's our physical shell. It's just our structure. So get familiar with how your structure feels today. Just notice any aches and pains, any tenderness. Start to connect your awareness with the muscles, the bones, the joints. And eventually come to a stable space where you can still the body. Maybe allowing the palms to face forward as the shoulders relax down. This is your mountain pose. That perfect balance of rooting, knowing where you've come from, knowing that you are safe, but also knowing that you have the potential and the capability of lifting and rising. That axial uplift from your spine through the crown of your head. So feel your physical presence here. Feel your earth. And then bring your hands to root just below the navel. Our sacral chakras, where we bring that earth or the element of water. Knowing that you are made of so many liquids, so many fluids, blood, lymph, saliva. You can't survive without water. Your fluidity helps sustain your life, but it also is a sign of your creativity, your adaptability and flexibility in this world. You move and you bend and you adapt to all the changing scenery and to the changes in relationships, changes and shifts in thinking. So begin to connect with your water element here. And then float the hands above the navel to your solar plexus, just stacking the palms below the ribs, below the sternum, above the belly. Your solar plexus is the seat of your heat and your light. This is your fire, your passion, your courage. It's a bright light that illuminates your path. Connect with your fire right here, right now. What inspires you? What gets you riled up? And then float your palms up to your heart. This is where we embody our air, because this is where our love lives. And like air, love is everywhere. This is also where we connect to the air that we physically take in and out of the body, breathing into the lungs. So feel the lungs expanding, feel the heart beating. Connecting with a sense of lightness, sense of omnipresence. So as we flow today, we're looking to notice if the body has a tendency to be filled with one element more than the others, and what can we do to help find a gentle balance among the four elements within the body. When you find yourself getting fiery and passionate, can you cool yourself with breath? When you're finding that perhaps you're stuck and stagnant, can you invite a little bit more relaxation, and so the creative side of you can flow? All to help serve our Yoga Sutra Sthira Asanam, which invites a sense of steadfastness and ease into the body at the same time. So if you notice that you're exerting and heating up in such a way that's just not serving you super well, can you invite that gentleness, that ease? Maybe it's a softening of the mind. Maybe it's a deepening of the breath. Take a big breath in and let it go. Bring your arms back by your side. Start to invite in your intention for today's practice. This practice dedicating to balance. And this is what Melody Beattie says about balance. Quiet, relaxed, feeling right about what you are doing, on track, in harmony, at peace. No turbulent emotions racing through you. No disorganized thoughts clamoring in your mind. Your body feels aligned and you feel connected to it. And what you say and do comes from your center. It feels right. It feels honest. It feels like you, and you feel connected to your deepest self, your soul. Your heart is open, and so is your mind. Take a big breath into that. Let a big breath go. Next inhale, float the arms up overhead. We're going to cross the right foot over the left foot and start to crescent over to the left side. So you can take your left hand on the right wrist, guiding it into that side body stretch. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, float into a fold, getting into a really nice deep leg stretch here. Welcome to those of you who are just signing in. We're focused on balance today. And if you have a block or blocks and a strap, you may want to bring it to the mat. This is a good place right here to use a block to bring the earth closer to you as you fold, decompressing into the spine. And then slowly start to rise back up. Bring hands into heart. Lift your right knee up toward your chest, finding an early balancing shape. And right there, notice, were you so focused on lifting through the hip flexion to bring the knee up that you lost the integrity of your spine? Lift the spine up nice and tall. Draw the lower abs in to support your spine. And then left hand comes to the right knee, right arm open, take your twist to the right. Continue that axial extension. Know that you are rooted and grounded and safe. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more breath. And come back into center and bring the foot down. Nice and controlled. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up. Cross the left over the right so the pinky toes kiss. Crescent over to the right side. Drawing that left shoulder back just a little bit. Nice adjustment there. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more breath. Beautiful. Come back into center and fold. Hinge at the hips. Hang heavy. Notice where you feel this in the legs or in the back or in the neck. One more big breath. And slowly rise. As you rise, bring the left knee up towards your chest. Rooting and rising all at once. And then we're going to take our twist to the left. So right hand on the left knee, press one against the other as resistance to go deeper into that twist. Look over the left shoulder. Maybe find a gaze over to the thumb. Navel in, spine tall, breathe. One more big breath. Beautiful. Come back to center and then slowly let the foot come back down. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, dive down, fold. Halfway lift to a flat back. And fold again. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And fold. Last one, big breath in. And fold. Nice. From here, we're going to step back into a plank and then release the knees down into a table position. We're going to work on finding a little balance in the body from our hands and knees. So before we start to do that, find where your center is. So you've got to scan sort of from crown of the head to the tailbone, finding your center right at the solar plexus. Go from side to side, left to right, just noticing where your center is. And right there, bring a little contraction into the core, that Uddiyana Bandha, that energy lock right in the center of the belly. That's going to be your point of stability. Along with the gaze, your drishti, your focal point, will help you find stability if you keep it still and stable. So once you've found that, take a big breath in. Let the breath go. On the inhale, extend the right arm and the left leg. And right there, notice if the body wanted to shift. Come right back into center, engaging right into that midpoint that you identified. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more breath. And as you exhale, bring elbow to knee, rounding the spine. Inhale, extend, press the fingertips and the heel away. Exhale to contract. Two more, floating with your breath. Beautiful. Come back to extend this balancing table, and then bring the hand and the knee down, coming back to all fours. Just finding that space again, scanning front to back, left to right, engaging right in the center, and then extend left arm, right leg. Squeezing where the muscles can help you to not wobble or tip. Lengthen the spine. One more big breath. And exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen, extend. Exhale to contract. And you've got this. 2 more. Beautiful. Come back to extend arm and leg. And then hand and knee down to the earth. Rock the hips back to the heels, finding a child's pose. Coming back into this shape that will help you to restore that balance of the elements. If you notice getting a little bit too warm, igniting too much of the fire in the body, come back here and fan the flame with a little more breath, some cooling breath maybe. Big breath in, full breath out. When you're ready, come back through table position. We're going to make our way to downward facing dog. Lifting the hips high to the sky, feeling that upper thigh spin back toward the behind you, whatever's behind you, if there's a wall perhaps. Feel evenly distributed among the 4 points connecting to the earth here. And see if you can maintain that sense of balance as you lift the right heel to the sky. So once again, using that center point of the body, right in your Uddiyana Bandha, to help find balance. Coming into this 3-legged dog. Take one more big breath. And release the leg back down to the earth. Downward facing dog. On the inhale, left heel high. Just disturbing the balance a little bit. But you can bring it back consciously, distributing the weight. One more big breath. And release. This time, inhale, right leg high to the sky. And as you exhale, hover shoulders over wrists and draw the knee toward the nose, rounding in the spine. Inhale, send that leg back up. Exhale, hover over wrists, knee to nose. This is cheetah. Let's do that twice more, slowly shifting the weight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Step the right foot between the hands. Drop the left knee, untuck the toes. We're going to sweep up, come into a low lunge. Interlace hands behind the back. Open up the heart. Big breath in. Full breath out. Take one more big breath. From here, release the bind, plant both hands down, lift the back knee and take a twist. So peel the right arm up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Really press back into that left heel to get the most out of that stretch. One more breath. And bring the hands to frame. Send the right leg back up to the sky, 3-legged dog. And release back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel to the sky. Finding that 3-legged dog. Noticing the balance. Take one more big breath. And as you exhale, hover forward, knee to nose, cheetah. Round the top of the spine. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale to cheetah. 2 more. Move with breath. And this time, step the left foot between the hands, drop the right knee, untuck the toes, sweep up, low lunge. You want to give a really nice stretch into that right side hip flexor. Hands come to weave behind the back, shoulder blades squeeze together, heart lifts. One more breath. Then release the bind. Frame the front foot, lift the right knee. Take your twist by lifting the left arm. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath. Release the left hand, left leg back up to the sky, three-legged dog. And then feet to the earth. Downward facing dog. Breathe. And let go. One more breath. And release. Let's get a little heat working in the body, driving up that fire elements by taking a few sun salutations. So look to the front of the mat and step or hop, feet to hands. Rise all the way up. Exhale, float back to fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands, step or hop back. Taking a chaturanga, flow, opening the heart however it feels right to do so. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look to the front of the mat, step or hop, feet to hands. Rise all the way up. Exhale, bow down. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands, step or hop. Take your flow. Downward facing dog. Breathe. And let it go. Let's do that twice more. Look to the front of the mat, step or hop. Rise all the way up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant your hands. You decide how you'd like to travel. Staying focused, staying connected and present. Back to downward facing dog. Last one, look to the front of the mat, step or hop. Rise up. Float down. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands, step or hop. Making your way through your chaturanga flow. Back to downward facing dog. This time, step or hop to the front of the mat. Rise all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart. So I'm going to introduce to you a breath practice here called Samavriti. It's a really beautiful one when we're working on balance to help us find some balance and equality from between the inhale and the exhale. So each of us sort of, probably unknowingly, if you don't spend a lot of time focusing on your breath, we have habits of taking a longer, fuller inhale and maybe a less relieving and less full exhale. Or maybe you have a pattern where you inhale kind of shallow, but you like the slow release, the exhalation. So a Samavriti breath helps, it means same and equal. So it helps to bring that perfect balance between the two so that you're getting as much as you need to excite the cells of the body with fresh oxygen, but you're also releasing everything so that you're not trapping any stale air, which is anxiety really in our lungs. You're letting it go, you're pressing it all out so that the next breath is fresh and new. And so for this one, you can have hands chest and belly or on heart, wherever you want them to be. Just connect somewhere with your body with a tender, loving touch. And just start to notice the regular pattern of your breath. Coming back into that mountain pose where you feel really stable and connected to the earth. And then I'm going to begin by counting for you, but feel free to diverge from my cueing and take your own count. So I'm going to start with a count of 6. So the idea is breathe, inhale fully up till the count of 6. And as I start to count backwards from 6 back down to 1, that's your exhale. We're finding smoothness. Just imagine a mountain that has symmetry. And you're going to breathe as you travel up the mountain, as we're in mountain pose. Come to the peak, and then breathe down as you descend the mountain into the valley. Okay? So let's share a breath together to cleanse. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Slowly inhale to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come to the peak. Admire the view. And exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let everything go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do a few rounds on your own. Maybe your breath expands to a higher count than 6. The next time you inhale, when you get to the top of your inhalation, take a little bit more in. Just sip, even though it feels impossible, give it a shot. And when you come to that exhalation on the other side, when you think you've gotten rid of it all, there's always a little bit more to release. Contract the abs and let it go. 2 more rounds. And as we flow through the rest of our practice together, be mindful of that breath, inviting in some vritti where you can, if you start to notice an imbalance in the breath. It's a beautiful way to calm your nervous system. It's a beautiful way to give you the nourishment that you need. Okay? All right, so we're going to come back to the top of the mat. Find another sequence here. Inhale, nice and high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to a flat back. Exhale, go through a flow, stepping back or hopping into chaturanga. High to low plank. Scooping the heart up, melting the shoulders back to downward facing dog. Once again, feeling evenly rooted through all 4 points here. Tailbone soars to the sky. Let the head hang heavy, soften into the neck. Big breath in. Full breath out. Beautiful. On the inhale, right leg rises. As you exhale, step the right foot between the hands. The left heel will melt down for warrior 2 as you rise. Feeling connected here. So let's get adjusted a little bit. Inhale, straighten the leg, palms connect. Exhale, dip a little deeper. Inhale, straighten. Exhale to dip. Let's do that one more. Just noticing if there's any space waiting for you. Inhale and exhale. Find your deepest expression of a warrior 2 here. Whatever's available to you today. Keep spinning the hips open. Really conscious of driving that right knee toward the edge, the outer edge, the right edge of the foot. Gaze strong and solid over the front fingers. This is a really nice pose to notice the sthira and the sukha, right? You feel the steadfastness and the solidity in your body, the strength. But your heart is wide open, filled with compassion, and the breath is softly nourishing you. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you inhale, flip the right palm, exalt the warrior, inviting a little peace into your warrior. Breath in. Breath out. We're going to come back into warrior two and start to find a balancing shape, balancing half moon. One of my favorite shapes. So if you have a block, it's a good time to put it in front of the right toes, about 6 inches. And we're going to look there, shift into the right foot, plant the right hand on top of the block as you lift the left leg. And this time you are rotating that hip open. So unlike in a 3-legged dog, where we're not rotating into the hip, we are rotating into the hip now. So we have a long line of energy from the left shoulder, across the hip, down to the left heel. Also long line of energy, fingertip to fingertip, washing over the collarbones. Front to back, left to right. And connect with that midline once again. That is your epicenter of strength and balance. Breathe. 2 more breaths. Settling your gaze somewhere that'll help you find that balance. And then from here, we're going to close that left hip, bring the left hand down to the earth, coming into a standing split. So both hands to the earth, left heel to the sky, toes down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Start to root into that right leg. Trust yourself as you rise, coming into a warrior 3. So your arms are going to be extended in front of you, framing the ears, or out to the side, or to the heart, wherever you want them to be. But make sure that left hip is closed so that the hips are level. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then start to draw your left knee back up to your chest. This is where you might want to bring your strap into the mix. Coming back into that stork pose. We're going to then take an extended hand to knee pose, or hand to foot pose. Are you ready? Come on, leg, you got this. There we go. Sometimes you just have to give a little love. So once you extend the leg, you can do this with your hands on the toes, or your bind with the rope strap, or your t-shirt. Try to find the spine lifting right up from the heel, all the way up through the leg, tailbone to crown. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then slowly let that leg go. Coming back to the top of the mat, and just shake out whatever you need to shake. Invite some fluidity into the body where it may have felt stiff and a little too fiery. Take a big breath in and exhale, bow down. Halfway lift, hands to shins, and take your flow. If you want to add an arm balance in it, you could do a crow to flow. Don't let me stop you there. I'll show you what that looks like on the other side. Coming back into your 4 points. Breathe in. Breathe out. Finding that equality, the samavriti, where the inhale and the exhale feel like they're even, equally deep and fulfilling. Beautiful. On the inhale, left heel to the sky. Exhale, left foot steps through, right heel melts down. Rise to your warrior 2. Right, making any adjustments in the footing to help open the hips. Shoulders stacked over the hips. Inhale, straighten the legs, palms connect. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink. Let's do that one more, creating a little bit more space in the hips. Finding that fire. But don't forget to cool it with the breath. Beautiful. Flip the left palm, exalt the warrior. Maintain the integrity of the lunge. Keep sinking into it. One more breath. And then we come back to where we start to float into our half moon. Using the block if you'd like to bring the earth a little closer to you. Left hand into that block. Start to lift and open up that right hip. Feel it externally spiraling. Lengthen in the spine. Reach that right arm up to the sky. And take inventory again, expanding. Top to bottom, left to right. Crown and tail are reaching apart. Opening through the body. Contracting right into the center. To help you feel stable. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Bring that right hand down to the earth. Close the hip. So the hips are now squared. Standing split. From standing split, slowly start to rise into your warrior 3. So really drive into that left leg, firing up the hip stabilizers. Arm variation of your choice. One more breath. Notice that right side hip. Really spiral it inward. And then slowly start to bring your right knee up toward your chest. We're going to come into that Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. Actually, we're not going to do the Utthita part. We're just going to do Hasta Padangustasana. Hand to toe, hand to foot, standing up nice and tall. I'm using a strap today. There is a bind. If you want to use the bind like that. But it's always good. I find I get a little bit more of a stretch into the hamstring when I use the strap. So remember, straps are not a sign of weakness. Straps are a sign of finding a little bit of different sensation in a posture or making it accessible. Take one more breath. And then let it go. Oh. All right. Shake it out. You guys are awesome. We're going to come back into our mountain pose. So come back to where you're feeling rooted, connected, stable and solid, yet uplifted, confident, courageous to meet the world above ground. Let's do a few standing balances. So a few more standing balances, I should say. So press the weight. I'm going to mirror you here. Press the weight into your left foot. We're going to bring the right knee back up to the chest, stork pose. Reestablish your tall spine. And then open up. Externally rotating into that hip. Find a tree pose. Planting the foot above or below the knee. Think about where you feel connected here. Where do you feel the energy most brightly, warmly? Would you like to lift the arms? Are you breathing deep? Do your inhales feel as fulfilling as your exhales? One more breath. And then let's take a dancer pose from here. So the right hand, bring your right knee back into stork so that it's not flared open. You want to close that hip. Bring the heel toward your sit bone and take a bind on the foot. You can use the strap again if you'd like here. I'll show you how to do dancer with a strap. You can actually get really deep into it as a back bend also. Well, it is a back bend, but we're focusing mostly on balancing today. So if you want to use the strap, ooh, it feels so good at my shoulders. So this is how you would do it with the strap. Again, I think the strap in this shape gets you deeper than making the bind on your own. So try it out both ways, see what works. So let your eyes gaze on one spot. We're looking here to open up through the front body. Draw the shoulders back. Really keep the foot into the hand, contracting into that quadricep. One more breath. And release. Shake it up. Bring that fluidity back into the body as needed to get things moving. All right. We'll come back to standing. We'll take that on the other side. So root, reconnect, and then press into your right foot. Left knee rises. Open up the hip. Plant the foot where you want it to be, avoiding the knee. And once the foot comes to kiss the leg, let that leg fire up, activate, kiss right on back. That's where you feel stability. Engage the lower abs. Engage your Uddiyana Bandha. Lift the spine. Yes, maybe the branches grow. Maybe Anjali Mudra. I see a little bit of that going on. Hands to heart is always a beautiful place to rest. Take another breath. From here, dancer pose. So disengage the foot to leg. Bring it back in, closing that hip. And then bring your your left heel to your left hip. Bind. Kick the foot into the hand. Open up the heart. Maybe you do this with your strap. That's what I'm going to do because it feels really good, my friends. May take me a little while to get situated, but it's worth it once I get there. There we go. Oh, yeah. You can always micro bend the standing leg too. Breathe. And then let it go. Nice. I promised you a little crow to flow if anyone's interested. Let's take a big breath in. If you're not interested, go through your vinyasa flow. We'll meet in down dog. If you want a crow to flow, bring your hands down. This is an arm balance. Palms are down. Bend the elbows, making a little shelf with your chaturanga. Triceps. Knees come up into the triceps. Look and lean forward. So bring that roundness into the spine. And then just start to trust as you raise the heels up toward the sit bones once again. And that's your crow. And then if you wanted to crow to flow, then what you would do from here is shoot the legs back, keeping the elbows bent, and then go through your vinyasa flow. And we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath. And let it go. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come to a seated position. Maybe you practice looking forward and taking a little hop, shooting your legs through, coming into your boat pose. And I'm going to challenge you today, if you have a block, to do boat on a block. So boat on a block, you put the block underneath your sit bones, sit up nice and tall, and extend the legs. If you're not on a block, that's okay. This just gives you a little extra challenge to your balance. Remember to extend the crown of the head away from the tailbone, shoulders away from the ears, heart is open. We're going to take 5 more breaths here. If you like to move in your boat, you're welcome to really challenge yourself by taking some twists or you can stay static, building that fire, cooling it with the air of your breath. One more big breath. Beautiful. We're going to come to a seated position. Move the block out of the way. Nice job. And bring a little fluidity into the body here. Just make some big circles with the trunk, moving in both directions. See if I forgot anything that I wanted to do with you guys. Move in the other direction. Still noting the breath. Still trying to welcome your Samavriti breath. And the more you practice it, the less you have to count. And the more it just becomes natural to notice when the inhale and exhale feel just about the same. All right, come back into a nice tall seat, Sukhasana. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. And then keep your right knee drawn in, extend your left leg long, revolved head to knee. So we're going to rotate over that extended leg, lift up nice and tall, and as you exhale, bow down. And let's move a little bit before we settle. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hinge. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Big breath in. And then surrender completely here. There's also an option to give a little twist to it. If you take your right hand on the outer edge of the left foot and gently twist to the left, you'll feel a really nice stretch into the lumbar spine. Or you can stay folded to get more into the hamstring. Always options, my friends. And you're probably discovering things that I'm not even cueing, and that is the practice. Opening yourself up to some free movement, some creativity, to explore, to get curious, to go places that feel good in your body. 2 more breaths. Nice. We're going to come back up to center. Bend your left knee, bringing the heel to the hip. Sit up nice and tall and twist over to the right. Every inhale finds more lengthening of the spine. Every exhale, deeper exploration of that twist. Beautiful. Come back into center, taking a pinwheel pigeon here. Sit up nice and tall and just rotate so that your chest is bisecting the fleshy part of the thigh. And start to walk and walk and walk and lay your belly right on that thigh, melting the forehead down to the earth. So your hip shouldn't be lifted from the earth. Everything should be rooted still, and just give a nice stretch into that right side hip, the glute, your piriformis, just giving it some love. Two more breaths. Slowly then start to press up. Swing both legs around. Give yourself a little windshield wiper movement. And then extend your right leg, bend the left knee like a little seated tree. Rotate the body over that extended right leg. Keep the foot flexed for a little more sensation if you'd like. Big breath in, lifting tall out of the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold. One more big breath in. Full breath out. And last one, this one we will settle. Big breath. And keep reaching the crown of the head toward the toes. Either bind with both hands or one hand taking a gentle little twist toward the right, or just fold completely to excite that right side hamstring. Mind is focused on the breath. One more breath. Release the bind, rise back up, bend the right knee, bringing the right heel toward the sit bone. We're going to take a twist. So rise on the axis, then rotate. Let the gaze float over the left shoulder. One more big breath in. Full breath out. Return back to center, pinwheel pigeon. Start to walk your hands out. Melt the belly right down to that thigh, surrendering the forehead, letting the body hang heavy, enjoying that beautiful stretch. One more breath. And then slowly start to come up. Swing both legs around in front of you. Shake them, tap them, whatever they need right now. And come onto your back. Take a full body stretch, arms and legs like a big starfish. Stretch, stretch. Think about any final stretches or shapes that you're really hoping to do today in the practice. Take about 5 breaths wherever you'd like to be. Giving the body whatever it needs to feel balanced, to feel evened out. And when you're all done, we're going to meet in Shavasana. Shavasana is a beautiful space to return to return to a sense of equanimity, where we invite full open awareness, but we're not gripping and grasping, we're not pushing and resisting. We're simply present to notice. So once your physical practice is done, you're ready to come into this shape and explore a few moments of contemplation, a few moments to simply celebrate being this embodiment of all the elements of the earth, being this perfectly imperfect human, being you. When the time is right, I will awaken you with a reading from Rachel Brathen. Balance is key in everything you do. Dance all night long and practice yoga the next day. Drink wine, but don't forget your green juice. Eat chocolate when your heart wants it and kale salad when your body needs it. Wear high heels on Saturday and walk barefoot on Sunday. Live high and low. Move and stay still. Embrace all sides of who you are and live your authentic truth. Be brave and bold and spontaneous and loud. And let that complement your abilities to find silence, patience, modesty, and peace. Aim for balance. Make your own rules. Don't let anybody tell you how to live according to theirs. Start to breathe awareness back into the embodiment of Earth's elements. Feeling your physical body solid, stable. Feel the water element smooth, flowing, flexible, adaptable. Feel the fire element, intense, powerful, and transformative. And notice the breath as air, light, movable, filled with love. While you are present as a being in this universe, know that you yourself are a complete universe. So start to awaken, start to move, eventually making your way up to a comfortable seat when you're ready. Pressing the palms together in front of the heart. It's such an honor to practice with you. I thank you so much for being here today for this balancing practice. May you continue to find balance in your own day and in your own life in a way that feels authentic to you. So know that the love and the light in me honors the love and the light in each of you. Namaste. So come back and practice with us again tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing strength. Oh, yes. So come practice with us. And if you missed any practices, they're all on the Eat Yoga Drink YouTube channel. I want to thank the Energy Club again for sponsoring today's class and getting the word out so that we grow in our numbers and a variety of faces, along with the ones that are so familiar and so loved. I really appreciate seeing you guys every day too. So thank you. Let me know.